With the second pill in his system, Choji uses the super multi-size technique to dramatically increase his size before throwing himself upon Jirobo. To escape the crushing weight of Choji's increased bulk, Jirobo advances to level 2 of his cursed seal, giving him the strength to lift Choji and toss him aside. Outmatched, Choji considers taking the last pill. While all of the pills he had taken thus far were harmful to him, the third almost completely guarantees death to the user. Faced with death either way, Choji takes the pill, allowing him to easily overpower and kill Jirobo. His battle won, Choji begins to follow his friend's path, but falls unconscious before making it very far. When the retrieval team catches up with the Sound 4, they are quickly caught in Kidomaru's spider webs. As Kidomaru is about to finish off Naruto, Neji frees himself from the webbing and saves the rest of his team. Deciding to deal with Kidomaru himself, as his gentle fist techniques are the only able to sever Kidomaru's spider webs, Neji instructs the others to go on without him. Kidomaru manages to shield himself from Neji's attack, and flees to the safety of the neighboring trees. Deciding to attack Neji from a safe distance, Kidomaru advances his cursed seal to its first level before sending multiple spiders to attack Neji from his personal summon. Neji is able to repel them all, with both his 8 trigrams, 64 palms, and the advanced 8 trigrams, 128 palms, although Kidomaru notices a delayed reaction in some of Neji's blocks. He theorizes that Neji's defense has a blind spot, so he continuously attacks at different angles. His theory is proven correct when Neji is unable to block an attack. Kidomaru throws multiple projectile weapons at Neji, stabbing him in the back. Despite this, Neji is able to stand up. Kidomaru, prepared to finish Neji once and for all, enters into the second state of his cursed seal, and fashions himself a bow and arrow, in an attempt to strike at Neji's blind spot once more. After advancing his cursed seal to its second state and creating a bow and arrow with his webs, Kidomaru begins shooting arrows at Neji's blind spot. Neji is able to block or evade the attacks enough to keep them from hitting vital areas, but is still left heavily damaged from each of Kidomaru's attacks. Ready to finish the battle, Kidomaru prepares his most deadly arrow, and fires it at Neji. Neji takes the arrow at full force, but is able to move at the last second to keep the arrow from piercing his heart. With Kidomaru's arrow connected to him by a web thread, Neji sends his chakra into the thread, paralyzing Kidomaru. As Kidomaru falls, Neji manages to use the last of his strength to catch up to him, and attack with his 8 trigrams 64 palms, hitting not only Kidomaru's Tenketsu chakra points, but also his internal organs. As his injuries are too severe, Neji collapses, leaving the retrieval of Sasuke up to the others, while Kidomaru's heart fails and kills him. Back in the Sound Village, Orochimaru is in immense pain, as his arms are bleeding profusely. Kabuto tells Orochimaru that he will die unless he takes over someone else's body, even going as far as offering his own. But Orochimaru claims that Sasuke is the only vessel he will take. Kabuto, however, tells Orochimaru that it doesn't look like the Sound 4 will bring Sasuke in time, and that he must take a new vessel quickly before he dies. Kabuto then releases all of the prisoners who he and Orochimaru experimented on, and promises to release only one of them. The prisoners then fight each other to the death, so that the sole survivor may be granted freedom. Kabuto then goes to check on Kimimaro, a loyal follower of Orochimaru, who is terminally ill and thus bedridden. It is revealed that Kimimaro was the original vessel for Orochimaru, until he was afflicted with his disease. As he no longer has any purpose for Orochimaru as his vessel, Kimimaro believes his existence has lost all meaning. However, he finds himself a chance to redeem his existence when he decides to devote his remaining lifespan to ensure that Sasuke, Orochimaru's future vessel, is brought to the Sound Village. Meanwhile, the Sasuke recovery team is catching up to Tayuya and Sakan and Yukon. Kiba and Akamaru decide to wait until it's dark to ambush them, but Shikamaru states that they will be fumbling blindly in the dark while also giving up their positions, thereby giving the enemy the advantage. On top of that, Shikamaru would be unable to use his shadow imitation technique. Despite Kiba's protests, Naruto states that they need to trust in their team leader's plan. After fighting each to the death, Genyumaru, the sole surviving prisoner, is chosen to be Orochimaru's new vessel. Orochimaru promises to grant him one wish before taking his body, and Genyumaru asks if Orochimaru could stop performing experiments on the members of his clan. Orochimaru gives his word to Genyumaru before using his living corpse reincarnation technique to take over Genyumaru's body. At the same time, Kimimaro leaves the Sound Village to retrieve Sasuke. As Tayuya, Sakan, and Yukon run through the forests, they wonder what is taking Jirobo and Kidomaru so long to catch up. They stop after Tayuya notices a kick from within the container Sasuke is in. Before she can check on it, she spots Naruto watching them from a tree branch. As she guards the container, Sakan and Yukon try to take down Naruto, only to be ambushed by Kiba and Shikamaru. As Sakan deals with those two, Naruto uses his shadow clone technique and prepares his Rasengan. It turns out that Kiba and Shikamaru are none other than transformed shadow clones, and Naruto tries to hit Sakan with his Rasengan, only for Sakan to grab his hand and dispel the technique. The real Kiba then uses his passing fang to go through Naruto, who is revealed to be just a shadow clone, in an attempt to hit Sakan. Sakan easily jumps out the way, but Kiba keeps going, heading towards Tayuya. Realizing that she was the intended target all along, Tayuya attempts to grab the container containing Sasuke and flee, only to be trapped in place by Shikamaru and his shadow imitation technique. Kiba manages to cancel his passing fang right before he hits Tayuya, and grabs the container and tosses it to Naruto. Sakan, who is plummeting towards Kiba, is unable to change his trajectory and heads towards Tayuya. Shikamaru cancels his technique, just before Sakan hits Tayuya, avoiding getting injured himself. The team then take the container and flee, only for an incensed Sakan to activate his cursed seal and go after them. As Sakan chases Naruto, Shikamaru, and Kiba, Akamaru has been setting traps using explosive tags. After getting hit by one, Sakan retaliates by trapping Akamaru, who is standing next to an explosive tag. Kiba jumps down to save Akamaru, and Sakan heads after Kiba. As the tag explodes, Sakan, Kiba and Akamaru both plummet off the end of a cliff and fall down. Before Naruto and Shikamaru can further assess the situation, Tayuya comes after them. However, she stops her attack when she instantly notices Kimimaro, who has snuck up behind Naruto and Shikamaru. He manages to kick the container containing Sasuke off the tree branch, goes after it and catches it. Telling Tayuya that she has disappointed Orochimaru, he wishes to kill her. However, he tells her he will refrain from doing so as she has a duty to perform. Taking Sasuke with him, Kimimaro instructs Tayuya to eliminate Naruto and Shikamaru. As they cannot let Sasuke get away, Shikamaru and Naruto devise a strategy. Naruto and Shikamaru rush toward Tayuya, but Shikamaru pulls back at the last second while Naruto soars over Tayuya. As Tayuya stands there confused, Shikamaru attempts to trap her using his shadow imitation technique, but Tayuya manages to avoid being caught just in time. However, Naruto manages to get away, and follows Kimimaro. His anger towards the Sound 4 and Kimimaro causes him to release some of the Nine-Tails chakra. Naruto manages to catch up to Kimimaro in a clearing, and the latter is surprised to see that Naruto possesses much more chakra than most. Naruto demands to know why Orochimaru wants Sasuke. Kimimaro explains that Orochimaru wishes to live forever, while his soul can live forever, his body cannot, therefore Orochimaru must need new host bodies to use as vessels. Angered that Orochimaru is planning to take over Sasuke's body, Naruto uses the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra to produce 1,000 shadow clones. Back in the forest, Tayuya mocks Shikamaru's leadership, believing he has sacrificed a member of his team every time they engage one of the Sound 4 one-on-one. Shikamaru states that he does not believe any of his team members are dead, and tells Tayuya not to insult them. Tayuya responds by summoning 3 giants, whom she controls with her demonic flute. At the same time, Kiba is fighting Sakan, who manages to kick Kiba away.